The plan changed, and you're not supposed to know. At least, that's what they wanted, for you to remain in the dark, to move forward based on an outdated map, to believe you were heading toward a certain destination while the very landscape beneath your feet was shifting. What you thought you understood was only a draft, a first version, a whisper of something much bigger, much more complex, and far more profound than you were ever allowed to see. The change wasn't announced with trumpets or flashing lights. It was silent, subtle, almost invisible to the naked eye. But to those who are awake, to those whose spirits are tuned to higher frequencies, the shift was undeniable. You felt it, didn't you? A slight unease, a tugging at your soul, a quiet voice inside whispering that something has altered, that what you were working toward no longer matches the reality you are stepping into. Before we dive deeper, I want you to know something important. This video is not just another message, it's a call to your spirit. Watch this video until the very end. Like this video, subscribe to the channel. Let your heart stay open. In the comments, leave your warmest wishes along with the number 77, a symbol of completion, miracles, and perfect timing. By doing this, you are not just commenting, you are activating energy, sending a ripple into the universe, declaring that your desires are alive and ready to bloom. You are not powerless, you are a creator, and your wishes are waiting for you to claim them. Now, about the plan. It didn't just change, it evolved, accelerated, twisted in ways that human logic can barely grasp. There are forces at play that understood humanity's trajectory better than we ever could. They saw where the collective consciousness was heading, the risks, the dangers, the possibilities, and they adjusted accordingly. You might think the detours in your life, the abrupt endings, the sudden new beginnings, were coincidences or personal failures. But what if I told you they were strategic moves in a cosmic game you were always a part of, even when you didn't realize it? You were never forgotten. You were never abandoned. The plan just demanded a version of you that could survive the newer, more intense path that was laid down, without your permission, without your full understanding, but always with your highest good in mind. There's a reason the shift wasn't announced publicly. There's a reason you weren't given a new map with bold letters saying, "Everything has changed." If you had known too soon, you might have resisted. You might have clung to the old ways, the outdated dreams, the illusions that served a purpose once, but would have become your prison if left unchecked. Ignorance, for a brief moment, was mercy. It gave you time to adapt slowly, to shed the old skin without the panic that total awareness might have caused. But now, you're sensing it. You're standing on new ground. The world you see with your eyes is a ghost compared to the reality your spirit is beginning to perceive. Think about the moments recently where everything seemed off. Plans falling apart last minute. People you thought would be forever in your life suddenly vanishing. Opportunities that seemed like sure things collapsing into nothing. These weren't accidents. These weren't failures. These were adjustments, pieces of a larger puzzle you couldn't possibly understand from your current vantage point. But your higher self understood. Your soul agreed, even if your conscious mind struggled against it. And now you're here, standing at the edge of something you can't quite name, feeling both terror and excitement, sensing that you are being called into a version of life you never dared to fully imagine. The plan changed. You weren't supposed to know. Yet here you are, knowing anyway, feeling it in your bones, breathing it into your lungs, stepping into it even without a clear roadmap. This is the mark of the awakened ones. You move by faith, by intuition, by the unseen hands guiding your every step. You don't need all the answers. You need only the courage to trust the pull inside you. There will be moments where you'll question everything. You'll wonder if you made a mistake, if you misread the signs, if you're lost. You're not lost. You're navigating an invisible path, one carved out specifically for you, one that requires you to lean not on your understanding, but on your inner knowing. Every no you've encountered lately, every closed door, every missed opportunity, it was a redirection, not a punishment, not a curse, a realignment. Something bigger was protecting you from smallness. Something wiser was rerouting you away from harm you couldn't see yet. The plan had to change because you outgrew the old one. And that's a miracle in itself. You grew beyond what the first draft could hold. You expanded past the limits of the original vision. What you are now capable of, what you are now destined for, demanded a rewrite, an upgrade, a transformation that couldn't happen if you stayed comfortable and familiar. Growth rarely feels gentle. Awakening almost always feels like a storm. But the storm isn't there to break you. It's there to reveal you. You're not the same person who first set out on this journey, and you're not supposed to be. The dreams that once set your heart on fire may feel hollow now because you're being invited to dream bigger. The relationships that once anchored you may feel heavy now because you're being called to soar higher. The goals you once thought were the pinnacle may feel insignificant now because your soul has glimpsed a new horizon, one that demands more from you and offers more in return. You're not being punished, you're being prepared. The plan changed because your destiny expanded. The doors that are opening now, the opportunities that are stirring around you, the strange coincidences, the moments of sudden clarity, they're not random. They are signs, echoes, invitations from the universe itself, reminding you that you're exactly where you're meant to be, even if you don't fully understand how you got here, even if everything feels too uncertain, too unstable. Certainty was never the goal. Transformation was. It's easy to look back and mourn what could have been. It's easy to get stuck wondering why things had to fall apart. But the truth is, they didn't fall apart. They fell into place. A new place, a better place, even if you can't see the full picture yet. Every delay, every disappointment, every detour was a hidden blessing, a silent promise that there's more for you, better for you, waiting just beyond the next leap of faith. And yes, it will take courage. Yes, it will require you to trust yourself in ways you never had to before. But that's because you're ready. You wouldn't be here, standing at the threshold of a completely new life, if you weren't ready to walk through it. You wouldn't feel the burning in your heart, the restlessness in your soul, if there wasn't something extraordinary calling you forward. The plan changed, and you are not behind. You are exactly where you're supposed to be. Even when the road ahead looks uncertain, even when the map seems blank, even when your old strategies no longer work. Trust the pull. Trust the nudges. Trust the sudden insights and strange dreams. Trust the endings and the beginnings. Trust that something bigger, something wiser, something breathtakingly beautiful is unfolding for you. You are never forgotten. You are never left behind. You are being upgraded, prepared, transformed. The plan changed, yes, but the promise remained. The promise that you are meant for greatness. The promise that your story isn't over. It's just getting a new chapter. One even more radiant, even more extraordinary than you ever dared to imagine. So breathe deeply. Hold your head high. Step forward. The unknown isn't your enemy. It's your destiny. And it's waiting for you to claim it. You might feel like you're standing in the ruins of your old life, surrounded by fragments of plans that no longer make sense, dreams that no longer fit the shape of your soul. And that's okay. That's part of the process. Before a masterpiece can emerge, sometimes the canvas must be wiped clean. Before new roots can grow strong, the old must be cleared away. You are not lost in destruction. You are witnessing the beginning of a reconstruction far more magnificent than what was torn down. The confusion you feel is not a failure. It's the fog that comes when old maps are useless and new paths are still being carved by your own steps. You are being called to walk by faith, not by sight. Every instinct within you that says, "Keep going," is a signpost placed by something higher, something that already knows the way, even when you do not. Doubt is natural, but your spirit knows better. Trust it. There is a reason your instincts have become louder lately. There is a reason your dreams are more vivid, your emotions more intense, your sense of urgency sharper. You are being guided from within because external instructions no longer apply to the path you're meant to walk. You are being tuned to a different frequency, one that requires silence, stillness, deep listening. The answers are no longer outside of you. They are rising from within. The old world, the one you once planned your life around, is crumbling. Systems are shifting. Energies are moving. What once made sense no longer does, because it's not supposed to. You're being separated from what is collapsing so you can rise with what is being born. Your discomfort is not a mistake. It's a catalyst. Your loneliness is not a punishment. It's a preparation. Your losses are not curses. They are clearings. Everything you're shedding now, people, habits, beliefs, environments, was necessary for an earlier version of you. But that version has completed its mission. That version brought you as far as it could. And now, as the plan shifts, you must become something new, something stronger, something more aligned with the extraordinary destiny pulling you forward. This is not a time to fear the unknown. It's a time to become curious about it. Imagine that what's ahead of you is far more beautiful, far more abundant, far more fulfilling than anything you are leaving behind. Imagine that the universe is not trying to harm you, but to surprise you, to exceed your wildest dreams. Imagine that the setbacks are setups. Imagine that the endings are entrances. Imagine that this isn't the end of your story. It's the prologue to the chapter where everything changes in your favor. There will be moments when it feels like nothing is happening. Moments when you question whether you made all this up. Moments when you wonder if the old way was better, because it was at least familiar. In those moments, remember, silence is not abandonment. Waiting is not punishment. Stillness is not stagnation. It's incubation. Something inside you is gestating, growing, preparing to emerge at the right time. Not a moment too soon or too late. You are not being punished. You are being positioned. You are not being erased. You are being rewritten. You are not losing your way. You are finding your destiny. When you look back one day, you'll see how perfectly orchestrated this was, how the detours were actually shortcuts to a better timeline, how the delays were divine interventions, how the people who left were only making space for those who were destined to stay, how every unanswered prayer was actually a hidden yes. Yes to something better, something higher, something more worthy of the greatness within you. You don't have to force anything. You don't have to fight to keep doors open that were meant to close. You don't have to beg for the things that are slipping away. Let them go. Let the plan evolve. Trust that what is meant for you is not fragile. It will not abandon you. It will not require you to diminish yourself to keep it. It will meet you where your spirit is rising. If you've been feeling exhausted, it's because you're birthing something massive. If you've been feeling isolated, it's because you're being protected from energies that could contaminate the sacredness of your next season. If you've been feeling restless, it's because your spirit is ready to move before your mind can catch up. You're closer than you think. You're stronger than you know. You're more aligned than you feel. And the plan, though hidden from your eyes, is not hidden from your heart. Your heart knows. Your soul remembers. Your spirit recognizes the unseen hands pulling you forward. You are not here by accident. You are not going through this by accident. You were chosen for this shift. You were chosen to survive the change, to thrive through the uncertainty, to rise above the fear. There is a version of you waiting on the other side of this transformation. A version more powerful, more radiant, more fearless than you can even comprehend right now. That version is cheering you on. That version is whispering to you in your dreams. That version is urging you not to give up, not to settle, not to shrink back into the old ways that no longer fit. Everything is aligning. Even what looks like chaos is alignment in disguise. Even what feels like loss is liberation in disguise. Even what seems like a setback is a slingshot pulling you back just far enough to launch you farther than you ever dreamed possible. You were never meant to know every detail. You were meant to trust the unfolding. You were never meant to cling to the old plan. You were meant to dance with the new one. You were never meant to stay small. You were meant to expand beyond what you thought was possible. So breathe. Trust. Keep moving. The plan changed, but the promise never did. The promise that you are being led somewhere extraordinary. The promise that you are becoming someone extraordinary. And no shift, no change, no unseen adjustment can ever take that away from you. You are on the right path. You are doing better than you think. You are closer than you realize. And everything, every single thing, is working together for your highest good. Even now, especially now, you must understand something very important. When the plan changes without warning, it is not a sign of failure. It is a sign of protection. A sign that forces beyond what you can currently perceive are moving things around, weaving invisible threads to create outcomes more magnificent than your current mind can grasp. You are not being left behind. You are being rerouted for your own blessing, for your own rise, for your own ultimate fulfillment. The mind naturally resists the unknown. It craves stability, predictability, and control. But your soul is braver than that. Your soul was designed for mystery, for magic, for miracles. Your soul understands that real greatness often begins in the absence of clear answers. Real breakthroughs often happen in the spaces where logic fails and only faith can guide you forward. The pieces are not missing. They are merely rearranging. The doors are not closing forever. They are repositioning you toward ones you never would have considered, but are far better suited to the real you, the you that is emerging through this process. The people who have left your life are not punishments. They are clarifications. They are the universe's way of removing anything or anyone who would have tethered you to an outdated version of yourself. And though their absence may sting, it is a healing sting. It is a necessary clearing so that what is aligned can have space to land. You have outgrown many things, often without even realizing it. You have risen in energy. You have expanded in spirit. And some structures, relationships, and habits simply cannot contain who you are becoming. That is not a tragedy. That is a triumph. There are bigger dreams for you now. There are higher callings. There are deeper loves, more vibrant lives, more expansive opportunities. And to receive them, the old container, the old plan, had to crack open. What you are experiencing now is the sacred in-between, the space between what was and what will be. This is the chrysalis stage. It is dark, it is messy, it is uncomfortable, but it is also holy. You are being remade from the inside out. Your wings are forming, your vision is sharpening, your essence is strengthening. This phase demands your gentleness with yourself. This phase demands your patience. It is easy to want to rush through the discomfort, to force answers where none are ready to be given yet. But that would only interrupt the masterpiece in progress. You are not being punished by the slowness of this transformation. You are being prepared for a longevity that quick fixes could never offer. The deeper the foundation, the higher the rise. The more patient the construction, the more powerful the building. The more silent the preparation, the louder the arrival. And your arrival is coming. Even now, resources are gathering. Even now, doors are being crafted with your name etched into them. Even now, relationships are forming that will change the course of your destiny. Even now, miracles are aligning behind the scenes, waiting for the perfect moment to reveal themselves to you. If only you could see the tapestry being woven behind the veil of the visible, you would never doubt again. You would stand in awe. You would weep with gratitude. You would dance with anticipation. The plan changed, and you weren't supposed to know, because if you had known, you might have clung to the old too tightly. You might have sabotaged the new before it had a chance to take root. You might have made decisions from fear instead of from faith. It's not that you weren't trusted, it's that you were protected. It's that you were loved too much to be left to the limits of your current understanding. And even now, though you may not fully see it yet, that love is guiding you. It is guiding you through every closed door. It is guiding you through every detour. It is guiding you through every unexpected shift. It is guiding you home. Home to yourself, home to your destiny, home to the life you were born to live but couldn't yet imagine. This journey is not easy, but it is sacred. It is stripping you of illusions. It is awakening you to deeper truths. It is molding you into someone capable of holding the magnitude of blessings that are coming. It is not happening to you. It is happening for you. You are not a victim of circumstance. You are a participant in destiny. You are not being broken. You are being broken open, so that more light can pour through you, so that more wisdom can radiate from you, so that more love can flow to and through you. And when the day comes, and it will come, when you step into the fullness of everything being prepared for you right now, you will understand. You will bless every broken plan. You will thank every unanswered prayer. You will weep with gratitude for every shift, every change, every delay that seemed like a betrayal but was actually a blessing in disguise. You will realize that the universe did not forget you. It fought for you. It protected you. It prepared you. And now you are closer than ever to the life that once seemed impossible. Keep trusting. Keep breathing. Keep walking. Your spirit knows the way even when your mind does not. You were never lost. You were being led, faithfully, fiercely, lovingly. And you are almost there. The plan changed, but you are still chosen. You are still destined. You are still exactly where you are meant to be. Even when you don't understand it, especially when you don't understand it, the unseen forces are still at work on your behalf. The best chapters of your story are still unwritten, and the miracle is still on its way to you, faster than you dare to believe. There are moments in life when silence screams louder than any answer you could ever hear. Moments when it feels like everything you once knew is slipping through your fingers, and you are left standing in the unknown, questioning everything. But what if I told you that these moments are not a sign that you've been abandoned? They are a sign that you are stepping onto a higher path, one too great to be explained just yet. The plan changed because your spirit evolved. The map you were following was drawn for a previous version of you, and now you are being called to rise, higher, deeper, stronger. If you had stayed on the old path, you would have built a life that only a fragment of your heart could inhabit. But now, something larger is calling you forward. Something that demands your whole heart, your full truth, your wildest potential. It was never about the comfort of certainty. It was about the expansion of your soul. The comfort you once craved would have become a cage. The answers you once demanded would have kept you small. So the plan had to shift. You had to be invited into the mystery. You had to be invited to trust something bigger than your own two eyes could see. You had to learn how to navigate by the compass of your soul instead of the maps, drawn by fear or familiarity. And you are doing it, even now, even when it feels like you're not. You are moving forward. You are growing. You are transforming into someone who can hold miracles without dropping them. Someone who can walk into vast new territories without shrinking. Someone who can meet the unknown, not with terror, but with awe. The closed doors are not a rejection. They are redirection. The unanswered questions are not a punishment. They are an invitation into greater wisdom. The delays are not denials. They are divine setups for bigger revelations. Every single change, even the ones you didn't ask for, is a thread in the tapestry being woven just for you. And while it may look chaotic from the backside, trust that from the front, a masterpiece is emerging. You have not lost your way. You are finding a way that was hidden all along. A way only revealed to those brave enough to walk by faith, not by sight. And though the world may not understand your journey, though even you may not fully understand it yet, there is a deep knowing within you. A knowing that refuses to let you settle. A knowing that pulls you toward more even when more is not yet clearly defined. Listen to that knowing. Honor that pull. It is the compass pointing you toward the life your soul signed up for before your mind had the words to name it. It takes immense courage to keep going when the plan changes without your permission. It takes heart to keep believing when the blueprint disappears. But you were built for this. You were built for the kind of life that requires faith. You were built for the kind of destiny that can't be mapped out in simple, straight lines. You were built for the kind of miracles that only happen to those who dare to keep walking when everything logical says, turn back. And deep down, a part of you knows this. Deep down, a part of you has always been waiting for this. Waiting for the chance to break free from the predictable. Waiting for the invitation into something extraordinary. And now, here you are, standing on the threshold. The threshold between what was and what will be. The threshold between who you were and who you are becoming. The threshold between comfort and calling. Take a deep breath and step forward. You will not be stepping into emptiness. You will be stepping into fulfillment. You will not be stepping into abandonment. You will be stepping into alignment. You will not be stepping into loss. You will be stepping into gain. The kind of gain that no eye has seen, no ear has heard, no heart has fully imagined. The plan changed because your life is destined to be greater than you initially thought possible. And if you could see the full picture right now, you would understand why every detour was necessary, why every delay was essential, why every unanswered question was a seed planted in richer soil than you ever could have chosen for yourself. You are not being delayed. You are being deepened. You are not being denied. You are being designed. You are not being punished. You are being positioned for something so breathtakingly beautiful that if you glimpsed it now, you would fall to your knees in awe. So trust the silence. Trust the spaces between. Trust the pauses. Trust the new plan, even when you can't see its full outline yet. The universe is not late. The universe is meticulous. And what is meant for you is moving toward you with the force of 1,000 unseen currents. Stronger than your fears, steadier than your doubts, louder than your worries. The plan changed. And you're not supposed to know all the details yet, because you are being invited into a story far more glorious than the one you thought you were writing. Keep walking, keep believing, keep becoming, because the greatest chapters of your life have not been cancelled. They have just been upgraded beyond your wildest dreams. And soon, very soon, you will understand why the plan had to change. It was never to harm you. It was always to bless you beyond measure. Sometimes the unseen shifts are the most sacred of all. When the plan changes without your consent, it feels like being thrust into darkness. But it is not the darkness of abandonment. It is the darkness of incubation. You are not being cast aside. You are being cultivated. You are not being left behind. You are being prepared to leap forward in a way that will astonish even you. The greatest transformations happen away from the noise, hidden from the world's eyes. Seeds do not sprout in the sunlight. They break open underground, away from the crowds, in a silent, invisible revolution of life. You are in that sacred underground right now. Do not rush this becoming. Do not curse the lack of visibility. Do not lose heart because you cannot see the full picture yet. The universe is working with precision and love. It knows exactly what it is doing with your life. And though you were not given all the information, though you were not handed the entire blueprint, your soul is holding the memory of the bigger plan. This is why, despite every confusion, you still feel a pull to continue. Despite the heartbreaks, you still rise each day with a whisper of hope stitched into your chest. Despite the detours, you still dream. That is not an accident. That is your deeper self, remembering the promises whispered to you before you were born. The plan changed because you are being written into a story far richer than your mind could script. The plan changed because your life is meant to ripple far beyond what you can currently comprehend. You are being stretched. You are being expanded. You are being awakened to dimensions of strength, wisdom, and love that had to be called forth through shifts you would not have chosen for yourself. Painful? Yes. Confusing? Absolutely. Necessary? Without a doubt. You see, comfort zones are not the birthplace of greatness. Predictability is not the soil in which miracles grow. If you had been allowed to stick to the old plan, you would have settled for a smaller existence. You would have built a house on land meant only for tents, missing out on the palaces being prepared for you beyond the mountains you were afraid to climb. The universe knew that your destiny could not fit inside your old vision. So it intervened. It rerouted, it reshuffled, it rewrote. And though the process feels disorienting now, one day soon you will bless the disruption. One day soon you will thank the delay, the detour, the dramatic redirection, because it will all make breathtaking sense. You will see how the heartbreak made space for real love. You will see how the rejection set you free to find true belonging. You will see how the closed door saved you from walking into a room that would have dimmed your light. You are not cursed. You are chosen. Chosen for a path that could not be walked by the faint-hearted. Chosen for a destiny that demanded your highest self. Chosen for a future so radiant that the old plan simply could not contain it. This is not the end. This is the in-between. This is the wilderness between Egypt and the Promised Land. This is the dark before the dawn. This is the silence before the symphony begins. Do not let temporary confusion birth permanent doubt. Do not let fleeting discomfort make you question eternal truths. Do not let shifting plans shake your unshakable worth. You are exactly where you need to be. Even when it feels like you are lost, you are being led. Even when it feels like you are forgotten, you are being fiercely remembered by the very fabric of the cosmos. Even when it feels like you have nothing left to hold on to, you are being cradled by invisible arms of love. The plan changed, yes, but the promise did not. The essence of what you are meant to live, love, create, and become is still alive, and it is growing stronger with every passing moment. This is why the old life had to collapse. This is why the familiar comforts had to be shaken. This is why the old dreams had to be revised. You are being positioned for impact. You are being prepared for influence. You are being equipped for abundance so profound, so lasting, that temporary losses cannot even compare. Do not shrink to fit old dreams. Do not cling to expired plans. Do not mourn what is leaving. It was only a stepping stone, not your final home. Instead, rise. Even if you have to rise trembling. Even if you have to rise unsure. Even if you have to rise with nothing but a flicker of hope left inside you. Rise. Because your rising is already setting off a chain reaction of miracles. Your rising is already shaking the earth beneath old structures and making way for new ones. Your rising is already signaling to the universe that you are ready, not for what you thought you wanted, but for what you were truly meant for all along. The plan changed, but you were not forgotten. You were remembered so fiercely, so lovingly, that you were lifted out of mediocrity and placed onto a higher trajectory. And soon, when the pieces finally click into place, when the unseen becomes visible, when the seeds you are tending in faith finally bloom, you will not regret a single tear shed on this journey. You will bless every twist. You will praise every detour. You will celebrate every shift, because you will know in your bones that the change plan was the perfect plan all along. And you, brave, beautiful soul, will finally see that everything you endured was not in vain. It was the making of you, the refining of you, the awakening of you. And the world will be better, brighter, and more beautiful because you did not give up when the plan changed. Because you dared to trust when you didn't understand. Because you chose to believe that something magnificent was still unfolding, even when all you had was faith. There is a sacred rhythm at work in your life, even when you cannot hear it. A perfect choreography, moving behind the veil, stitching together moments, meetings, and miracles in a way your mind could never fully grasp. And when the plan changed, it wasn't because you failed, it wasn't because you weren't worthy. It was because the music shifted, and your soul needed to dance a different dance, one that would carry you farther than the old steps ever could. The timing of your life is not random. The pauses are not accidental. The shifts are not mistakes. They are necessary adjustments to ensure you arrive at the destiny built uniquely for you. You are being guided by forces that love you far more than you love yourself. You are being protected in ways you will only understand years from now. You are being rerouted because there are unseen blessings, unseen dangers, unseen alignments that require your journey to unfold differently than you imagined. And though you might not have been given a map, you were given something even more powerful, an inner compass that knows the way, even through the fog. The world may tell you that you need to have everything figured out. The world may demand a 5-year plan, a perfect strategy, a foolproof roadmap. But your soul knows better. Your soul knows that real journeys are not built with rigid schedules. They are built with trust, with surrender, with the willingness to be led even when the path disappears under your feet. And in every detour, every delay, every redirection, you are being led, not aimlessly, but purposefully. There are things you are meant to find off the beaten path. There are strengths you are meant to develop through uncertainty. There are depths you are meant to reach by walking through the unknown. Had you stayed on the old plan, you would have missed treasures hidden in unexpected places. The love you are seeking is still coming. The dreams you are nurturing are still alive. The destiny you are moving toward is still waiting for you. Larger, more beautiful, and more meaningful than you can yet comprehend. But it requires your trust. It requires your patience. It requires your faith. The invisible work happening right now is laying foundations so strong that nothing will be able to shake them later. You are not just being moved forward. You are being fortified. You are not just being rerouted. You are being reshaped. You are not just being delayed. You are being designed to carry the kind of blessings that require deep roots, unshakable belief, and a heart wide enough to hold more than you ever thought possible. If it feels like you are being stretched beyond your limits, it's because your capacity is being expanded for a life bigger than your current imagination. The plan changed because you were meant to carry more light. The plan changed because you were meant to walk into rooms that your former self wouldn't have dared to enter. The plan changed because your destiny required a braver, freer, fuller version of you. And though you may not see it yet, you are already becoming that person. You are already outgrowing old fears. You are already breaking free from old limits. You are already stepping into a strength that will surprise even you. The confusion will not last forever. The uncertainty will not be eternal. The darkness will give way to dawn. And when it does, you will stand in the new light and realize every painful step was a sacred step. Every changed plan was a divine plan. Every closed door was protection in disguise. You will no longer mourn the detours. You will no longer question the reroutes. You will no longer fear the unknown, because you will know, deep in your soul, that the unknown was never a void. It was a womb, a sacred place where your next life was forming, a place where the future you were dreaming of was being built, not in spite of the shifts, but because of them. So if you find yourself standing in a place where the plan has changed and the way forward seems hidden, do not lose heart. Stand tall. Breathe deep. Remember who you are and why you started. You are not abandoned. You are not forgotten. You are not lost. You are being led towards something beyond your wildest hopes, something that will make sense of every unanswered question, something that will heal every old wound. You are being led toward a life that requires faith to enter, but will reward that faith 1,000 times over. Trust this process. Trust this unfolding. Trust this mystery. It will not lead you into emptiness. It will lead you home, to a destiny so magnificent. You will look back one day and whisper with awe and gratitude, "Thank you for changing the plan."